Hello. Naisip ko lang actually tong video na to dahil merong chismis lang. Dahil meron akong na encounter na chismis tungkol sa blind item na nagkaroon ng isang prominent na celebrity na nag-walk away siya from her wedding because yung family nung guy maraming demands dun sa prenup nila na kasama dun sa demands yung na pag naghiwalay sila, they'll get full custody of the kids. So, pero chismis lang yun, no? So, isa yun sa mga things na naisip ko as a gamer na so habang nag-chismisan lahat sila doon, nagagalit, people are getting outraged, ganyan. Tapos may mga sabi na ipaglaban mo yung just sign the contract, just sign the prenup, ganyan. Parang ganun lang ba kadali yun. Tapos, ako naman na naisip ko, isa siyang, as a gamer, ang naisip ko, isa siyang aggressive, high-stakes covenant negotiation. Kasi marriage is a covenant, no? Ang thing about that is, marriage isn't just a romantic side quest or parang nasa main timeline, milestone na kailangan mo i-meet, ganyan. Ito yung isa sa single most defining legal and financial partnership ng buhay mo. So, I feel like, bakit ka matatakot maging single kung ang choices mo are not, not that good? Diba? So, bakit ba natin ito pinag-uusapan tungkol sa retirement prep? Actually, ito yung funny thing. So, lahat ng tao iniisip, ano ba yung pag retire ka, ang i-min-max mo ay investment portfolios, bank accounts, mga credit cards, kung paano i-maximize yan. Pero a lot of people also ignore the most volatile variable sa buhay mo. Yan ay ang pagpili ng mapapangasawa. So, isipin natin yan let's talk about that. Pag-usapan natin yan na bakit pwedeng maging pillar ng retirement plan mo ang asawa mo pipili mo. 'Di ba? Okay, not saying na perfect ang marriage ko, but story time. I was actually married previously around 2003 and big wedding, 200 guests, Tagaytay wedding siya back when hindi pa uso yung mga mamahaling Tagaytay venues. Wait, inom lang ako. So prior to that, mahabang planning, 2 years planning for that wedding, and then, may ang daming opinion. Tapos, that marriage ended in less than a year, and then it was annulled in 2007. Parang nag-file ako ng annulment 2006. Tapos 2007, okay na siya. And then, ang problema nun was that we were so young. We were volatile both financially and emotionally. So basically, hindi kami ready for any sort of marriage. We were in our mid-20s. No? Kung sasabihin mo sino may kasalanan, ayoko naman manira ng tao, no? So lahat kami may kasalanan. So, pareho yun. Fast forward to later. 2017, I married my husband now. Sobrang importante nun for me, yung making that decision to marry again. Because napansin ko na yung husband ko, when I decided to marry him, he was living on his own, may siyang apartment, and then meron siyang pinapakita pa niya sa akin sa Skype yung mga halaman niya na inaalagaan, overlooking Pasig River. Tapos ako naman, syempre, I've been on my own din, in my 20s, kasi nag-move out na ako early. So in my 20s, I've been on my own. So anyway, fast forward, 2017, we got married. Now, ano yung very important part noon? Kasi when we were deciding to get married, we didn't want to go through like a whole 200 guests na naman, paplanuhin na naman yun, gagastos na naman malaking pera, no? Parang, Nakakatawa kasi I made my first million in my 20s. I also lost that first million because I married wrong. Siyempre, bayad ka pa annulment. May tulong pa ng dad ko yon. So, bayad ka ng annulment, nagbayad ka ng kasal, nagbayad ka ng, all of those things. So, all of that, na-lose mo yung pera. Now, nung napangasawa ko yung husband ko ngayon, so, ano yun, when mag-boyfriend pa lang kami, and I would not recommend you do this, by the way. Nung mag-boyfriend pa lang kami, my husband realized na, uy, parang hindi ako masyadong marunong mag-handle ng money kasi taas na sweldo niya, tapos, kung anong maisip, bilhin. So, ginawa niya, binigay niya sa akin yung ito na sweldo ko, ikaw na yung mag-manage. Kasi, forte ko nun, project management. So, kaya kong mag-manage ng pera. Ganon. And then, yun nga, kaya ako hindi nire-recommend kasi pag hindi pa kayo mag-asawa, I would not recommend you combine finances, okay? Kasi marami ding delikado doon. May legal repercussions yun. In case maghiwalay kayo, nag-combine na kayo for finances. Ang hirap nun. So, anyway, at least, nagpakasal na kami. And, na-combine namin yung finances namin. Ito yung ups and downs yung mga ganyan. And then, ang maganda lang kasi nun, pareho kami basically ng financial goals. So, ayun, nung nag-decide na kaming magpakasal, sabi namin, okay, maliit na wedding lang, ganyan. So, civil wedding. So, we started with that. We had 10 guests. So, maliit lang yon, nakasal. Tapos, yung sa 10 guests na yon, immediate family lang talaga siya. So, we didn't spend much. Actually, credit card ko pa nga yun, about 69,000 overall. So, hotel, ganyan. So, maliit lang siya na wedding. But, yun, ang masaya yun. Sobrang kinikilig ako sa wedding na yun because it was something that we like. We wanted it intimate. So, kahit sa planning, magkasama kami doon, partner ko talaga siya. Fast forward later, church wedding, but it's in the middle of pandemic nung time na yun, 2023, we decided to also make it small. So, actually, na-lift na yung pandemic noon. It was a church wedding, 20 guests yung nandun. So, possible yon. Kasi we agreed. And we set our boundaries that way. So, merong minsan na yung mga parents, syempre na gusto ng, church wedding na siya, dapat medyo mas malaki na siya, ganun. Kaso kasi, we decided not to accept any money from our parents because we started from scratch, no? So, we started from scratch. We moved out in our 20s. Hindi pa kami magkakilala, moved out na kami. Ibig sabihin, we wanted to be financially independent also from our parents, no? Although from time to time, tumutulong yung, parents ko. Dinabayaran ko naman yun pag ganun kasi nakakahiya, no? So, ayun, nangyari. So, we were able to come up with a wedding, na church wedding, na maliit. And we agreed upon it. And we enjoyed that day because we were so chill. Wala kami iniisip masyado na stress. We had to, also negotiate with our parents. Of course, we're spending for this, so this is what we want. Okay. Now, this is what I realized about Philippine weddings, no? Meron tayong cultural trap. No? Yung cultural trap na yan is, pag tumulong syempre yung mga magulang, kunwari, to pay for the wedding, to pay for that, napansin ko sa ibang tao, especially the younger couples, kasi medyo late na kami nagpakasal, no? I was 40 nung civil wedding. So, medyo 46 na yata ako nung church wedding. Hindi makano yung mga tao. Hindi sila makano. Parang, minsan hirap na hirap sila mag-balance out ng ito yung gusto namin wedding, but it ends up something na hindi yun yung gusto nila. And then, parang nahihirapan na sila kasi lumalaki yung demands and there's a lot of voices everywhere. Now, one thing I realized about wedding preparations, wedding pa lang yun na hindi pa kasama yung mga yung major decisions that you'll do after the wedding. So one thing I noticed is that if you let people step all over your boundaries, that's actually practice for married life na. Yung wedding planning mismo, it's already practice for your married life. Ganun siya ka-importante. So you have to be able to set your boundaries. Luckily, my husband also knows how to set boundaries. Actually, sa kanya ko natutunan yun. That's one of the things I like about my husband. I learned yung protecting your boundaries. And it's not about like, ayoko na kausapin mga parents ko, ganyan, o may demand silang gano'n, hindi. Kailangan lang talagang, if your parents are actually reasonable people, they will understand and they would know na this is like the whole setting up stage for your wedding, for your marriage. No, hindi lang siya basta like parting malaki. Yan. So, sa akin, okay, now that we have like, one of the other important things about that, I talked about it earlier about combining finances. It's very important, by the way, na not just shared values, which I actually found, I was lucky enough to find. Sobrang importante rin ng financial synergy and shared inventory, di ba? Versus shared inventory. So, kumbaga kung makikipaglaro ko ng co-op sa isa pang player, dapat medyo complementary yung skills namin. Mahirap kung pareho kaming support. Or yung isa, glass cannon na DPS. Tapos yung isa, glass cannon din na DPS. So, mahirap yun. Mas maganda yung if you are, aligned sa yung nagko-complement yung features nyo. So, dapat, yun yung nangyayari na my husband was concerned about this money skills, so he was able to like surrender that money to me to manage the entire finance, no? Tapos, kumbaga parang ang hirap nun. Ang hirap nung part na magkiwalik ka ng finances tapos hindi mo alam kung ano yung ginagawa ng isa, nagagasto siya na masyadong malaki. Tapos, di ba? When you have to tackle a huge marital problem together and it involves money, kailangan nakikita mo lahat. Diba? Kailangan nakikita mo lahat. Alam mo kung ano yung tools na pwede mong gamitin to solve that problem. And partners kayo doon. Kasi nangyari yun sa amin. Yung biggest challenge namin as a married couple was nung time na biglang binenta nung nirerentahan namin. Yung landlord, nung nirerentahan namin, bigla niyang binenta yung bahay. Yung bahay na nirerentahan namin. And because we have 5 cats, good luck sa paghahanap ng rental houses na papayag noon. It's so hard. So we actually did find a temporary place. We were able to negotiate. Sige, ang dami namin pusa. Per temporary lang naman yun. The understanding na we're not even gonna last 1 year there while we bought a house. And luckily, actually, buti na lang, hindi kami gumastos ng malaki dun sa kasal. Kasi kung gumastos kami ng malaki dun sa kasal, wala kaming pambili or pan-down payment to sa bahay na binili namin. Okay? So, ang laking important siya nun na magkakampi kami dun sa budget na yon, magkakampi kami sa lahat ng desisyon namin at nakikita namin lahat yun and we were able to make that decision together. That was parang boss battle yun that we were able to overcome as partners. So, kung yung partner mo sobrang luho, tas gano'n, how are you gonna, di ba, reconcile? How are you gonna use your inventory, use your skills together in order to solve a problem? Kasi dapat partner kayo di ba? So, hindi man naman kailangang maging financial geniuses, no? Ang importante lang yung core values nyo. And yung core values nyo that includes financial ay nagmamatch. Okay, so, meron kayong respect for financial boundaries, di ba? So, yung mga household goals nyo, you can like fight for that together, as a team. Okay? So, ang hirap kasi nung pagka mali ka ng pili, how are you gonna fight as a team? Kung dun pa lang sa loob ng bahay nag-aaway na kayo. Yun. may isa pang pillar, no? For choosing the right partner, yung biological toll of choosing the wrong partner. No, parang sa akin kasi, kung sobrang kang stressed sa partner mo, no, parang tingnan mo health stats mo. If you chose the wrong partner, hindi lang financial strain ang tinitingnan natin dito. You are signing up for a lifetime of chronic stress. 'Di ba? So, sa akin na, parang you're aging before you actually age ng tama. Paano aanin mo yung marami kang pera kung lagi ka na may sakit? And ang mental issues, emotional issues, they actually take a toll on your body. So kung lagi ka stress sa asawa mo, ang hirap nun. Kaya dapat part siya ng if you want to like retire ng medyo maginhawa, kailangan maalagaan mo yung sarili mo. And the way to do that is if you are relaxed in your marriage, and when you do have problems na magkakampi kayo when you are, fighting for it. Parang ganun. So, ayun, sa akin kasi, parang yun nga, aanhin mo yung optimized retirement if you burn through your biological durability stat. Tapos may sakit ka na agad. Aga-aga, puro ka sakit. 'Di ba? And usually yung sakit na yun, kung okay naman yung partner mo, and then nakakatulong siya sa pag-alleviate ng sakit mo instead of like adding to it. 'Di ba? A toxic marriage is actually a direct drain on your health also. 'Di ba? Lalo na kung ikaw yung partner na sumasalo ng lahat. Ikaw na yung childcare. Ikaw na yung nagsusweldo ng malaki. Pero ikaw pa rin nag-aalaga sa entire house. 'Di ba? Unlike yung meron kayong roles, you're not making lists for the spouse kasi alam na ng spouse mo kung ano yung kailangan ng bahay without you having to make a list kasi bahay din niya yun. Partner, kumbaga. 'Di ba? Para hindi ka nagkakasakit dahil iniisip mo lahat, ako mo lahat, pasan kong daigdig. Ganon. So, another core pillar for this is aligned lifestyles. Yun, low overhead. Nun medyo kailangan control nun kasi lahat tayo minsan merong impulse buy or matitempt. Ganyan. Pero one of the things I really appreciate about my partnership is even in traveling, napansin ko parehong-pareho kami nung yung gusto namin makita, gusto namin chill. We're not really into, nakakatawa kasi hindi kami magastos mag-travel kasi we find joy in little things. Like sometimes pag nagta-travel kami yung personal, yung mag-asawa, pag nagta-travel kami, napapansin namin yung mga things na naliligaw kami, na hindi planado, yung madalas mawala kami sa itinerary. Yun yung talagang yun yung na-enjoy namin yung company ng isa't isa, tapos hindi naman kami gumagastos ng malaki. And napansin ko lang, although sabi rin ng husband ko, kasi ako nagpa-plan ng itinerary namin, na-enjoy niya yung pace with which I plan our itinerary kasi very chill. Very chill siya. So like, okay, we work in the hotel in the morning, sa hapon, sige, doon kami lalarga. Tapos hindi kami yung hop from one place to another. We're very conscious about, okay, ito lang kakayanin ng energy levels natin kasi we are middle-aged. No? Hindi kami mga 20-something sa kayang island hopping na marami sa isang So, very chill. So, ganun din kami sa gastos namin. Minsan nagugulat kami, uwi kami ng Pilipinas, ang dami namin natin ng pera. So, hanap ko yung money changer kasi dami namin natirang pera, no? So, ayun, if yung lifestyle nyo also aligned yun, low overhead, kumbaga parang, hindi siya magiging strain also. No? So, pati yung mga bagay na na-enjoy namin that way. Na hindi ka nagsistress over a lot of that. Yun. So, sa akin, yung ganong chill, na sana masustain namin yon hanggang sa pagtanda namin. Pagka mag-iisip na kami ng ano, yun na, yung talagang, doon na talaga kami sa retirement. Sana masustain namin yon. So sa akin, ang takeaway ko sa lahat ng nakikita ko, na at least observations ko for myself, yung supportive and aligned partner who protects the household unit. Dalawa kayo. Alam nyo, trabaho nyo pareho without one having to tell the other. Or siguro once in a while may reminder, but hindi isang tao lang yung gumagawa nun, no? So, ayun, protects the unit, respects boundaries, and matches your energy. It's not just romance. So, mahirap kasi yung mga nagsasabi ng mga tao na pag mahal mo, yun na. It's not just romance, no? Ito yung, sa akin, itong gantong synergy ng ultimate force multiplier for your health, for your sanity, and your wealth. No? So, yun. Again, if you're gonna look at choosing your spouse as one of your retirement core foundation, dapat, one, establish your boundaries early. Two, protect your team. Find the spouse that is this, that would protect your team. Diba? And yun, pick your player too wisely. So, yun. Ayun lang, at least yun lang ma-share ko. And anyway, sana nakatulong. Bye!